Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, I'm playing the Tier 8 German, what I call heavy destroyer, uh, Gustav Julius Maerker. I think I only played one game in this ship when they were originally introduced in their rollout, which is typically done with getting a special currency, and then you can buy them, and then you can work on the next and the next and the next. I think I used free XP to get to the 9 and the 10. But regardless, I hadn't played this too much. I played the Tier 9. Well, actually, the Tier 9, I think, now that I think about it a little bit more, I think that was in a drop in a crate. There was some special thing, like you could pay 100 doubloons or something, and you could pick it up. It was a random drop. You know how they do that if you play the game. So I only played one game in this thing, and it didn't go all that well. I really did not know how to play these ships at all. And I've since kind of figured it out. I make no claims of being particularly good at playing them, but at least I have some idea of how to play them now. I was trying to play them in a more of a traditional destroyer role, sneaky, stealthy, spotting, capping kind of role. And really they need to be played a little bit more like you would play a cruiser, a light cruiser. Granted, they don't have a citadel, but they are big and slow and pretty easy to hit. And they're just, well, you can look at the detection radius on this thing. It's 7 kilometers, and I've built for it. So even with, making an effort at making the ship a little harder to see, it's still 7 kilometers detection. Now, what else did I do here? Well, you can see I'm just sitting here. I want to see what I'm up against before I go rushing in there. If we take a quick look at the matchmaking, you can see there's a Buffalo and a Seattle, as well as an Eindracht, and a Cossack, and a Udaloy. These are all threats. Of course, Buffalo and Seattle. Seattle in particular, radar and pretty quick reloading, hard-hitting, at least for destroyers' guns. Eindracht can airstrike you, so hiding in smoke against either of those doesn't generally work. Seattle, of course, will radar you and just continue to shoot you, and Eindracht will drop an airstrike on top of you. Udaloy, great guns, fast, and Cossack, great guns, fast, and an incredibly great detection radius. I can see that there's somebody in Bravo as our Mogador detonates the Shiratsuyu. I'm going to move up here. If I get spotted, at least now, if you look at the minimap, I'm going to have some help. There's a New Orleans, it's headed this way, and that's what's prompted me to go ahead and move in here. I was content to sit here until I had a little more clear idea of where the radar ships were at. But I'm going to have help in the form of the New Orleans. And if nothing else, I'll just turn and run. Okay, so we can see the Izumo there. Maybe I can get guns on whatever it is that's capping and keep them from capping, but whether I do or not, I want to make sure I don't put myself in a position to lose my ship here. Now, look at that. It's a Seattle. I can't really smoke. You can see his guns are pointed the other way, so I'm going to get the heck out of Dodge. He's only got his front guns. And he's got to worry about torpedoes. Now, I'm going to send the torpedoes somewhere else, but I wasn't able to stop him from capping. If he pushes out now, he's got the New Orleans heavy 203s with very hard-hitting AP to contend with. And I'm just going to fall back. He can have that cap for now. He didn't radar, maybe he already had. But I'm going to put this ship to use doing what I think it's best at. And that is smashing things with AP. And so I'm firing at a Bismarck. Let's see what kind of damage we do here. Alright, there's 4,400 with the AP, with 2 of them overpens. Yep, the AP on this ship is pretty darn good. I do manage to land a torpedo on the nose of the Izumo. I'm just going to see what I can see around this corner. So I know we got a destroyer out there on the probably on the 10 line. We got a whole bunch of people here, so I'm not too concerned that I'm going to get shot at. There are just too many other targets. Now, Colorado is slow and really big, so I'm going to put some AP out on that. Almost 3,200. New Orleans secondaries actually finish up Seattle. Our Pommern takes out their Buffalo, and just like that, their radar's gone. And now I'm going to see what this AP can do from range. Now, there have been a lot of ships lost. We lost Pommern B, Layton, and the New Orleans. They've lost Bismarck, Buffalo, Seattle, Cossack, and Shiratsuyu. So we're in much better shape. And I'm just lobbing shells from long range. Now, granted, I haven't done much. We're 6 minutes in. But you'll see what I'm talking about as far as playing this thing more like a cruiser. As soon as I can dial in the targeting here. This destroyer has 150s, and they hit really hard. Maximum HE shell damage is 1,700 with an 8% fire chance. I don't use the HE too much. Do what I'm doing right here, AP and targets. And you can do some significant damage. The max AP damage is 3,700 per shell. You're probably not going to do a lot of Citadel damage on a Colorado at this range, but you can see that I am chunking him for some significant amounts of damage, and it's not too likely he's going to hit me as I finish him off. Now, the Prinz Ruprecht, that's a threat. Secondaries on that ship are pretty nasty. I've got smoke if I need it. I also have to watch out for his torpedoes. You can see his secondaries are starting to light me up. See, I'm at 22,196 right now. And I want to try and hang on to that. The secondaries on these new German battleships or battle cruisers are pretty mean. So I do not want to get caught by them. I'm going to stay a little bit angled here. They've got long-range torpedoes. I have to be aware of the possibility of torpedoes from him. Now I just rinse and repeat, do the same thing I did before. Just stay at range, throw AP shells, and just chip away at his HP. This is not what I would call a particularly exciting playstyle. Secondaries are still lighting me up. I think he's got to 12.5, so I just gotta wait a little bit longer. And that should be the last round from him on the secondaries. Make use of the island. This game's really all but over. But I didn't really give fair treatment to this ship when I first got it. Or the Tier 9. As I mentioned earlier, I just really didn't have any idea how to play them. Now, as ugly as this is for the bad guys right now, and as in the bag as this game looks, let's all remember this is World of Warships, and you really never know until it's over. But it looks pretty good. Our Alaska's pushing into the Izumo. At the Bravo cap, Minsk has been struggling to pick up the Alpha cap, which is understandable. He's only got 4 kilometers of range on his torpedoes. It's a really fast gunboat. But we do have 1 cap. Bad guys have a cap, but our Alaska is kind of contesting that right now, so they're really not getting any points from it. Although he's just backed out of it, so they are again. Again, I have to be aware of the torpedo threat from the Prinz Ruprecht. Put those shots out, and the Pommern ran aground, so I'm pushing into his secondary range now. The bad guys are doing everything they can to stay in this fight. Here come the Pommern secondaries. A little bit more chip damage on the Prinz Ruprecht. Pommern also has torpedoes, although it doesn't have 12 kilometers range like the Prinz Ruprecht. So I have to be careful here. And I know his secondaries are going to be coming. He was trying to heal, but Alaska said, nope, that's not happening. Bad guys are now down to 4 ships. We've still got 8, although our Alaska, he's not long for this world. He's gone. We're now down to 7 ships, but we've got a Mogador, a Minsk, and a Gneisenau that are all really banged up. So I won't be counting any chickens. Taking a look at the mini-map, the Udaloy, even though it hasn't been seen for a little while, I think I'm pretty safe here. Looks like all their ships are G line, H line, I line. So I'm safe here. I want to stay close enough to be able to get my guns on things. Maybe smoke up. You can see the Udaloys pushing into the Minsk and the Kronstadt. I've got a broadside battleship to shoot at. You can see I'm aiming nice and high. I want to hit the superstructure. And I'll just chip away. That's what these ships do. I do secure the cap. And we'll see whether the Azuma will continue to run in a straight line. The Gross turned out. Udaloy's pushing right on in, squaring off point blank with the Minsk. He takes out the Minsk, and the Kronstadt promptly repays the favor. And that Prinz Ruprecht is pushing this way. I wonder if I could get torpedoes on him. I'm going to try. Turned myself at kind of a weird angle there. It's fine, I'll just reverse and get back out of here. And we'll see whether Exomat continues in a straight line. They know I'm here because of the smoke. I might land one. We'll see. Torpedoes on this ship are pretty slow. He's starting to turn a little bit. You just never know. We've got all 3 caps. We've got a 6 ship to 3 advantage. Ruprecht has turned it entirely. Yay Hydro, I guess. Alright, his guns are occupied elsewhere, so I will let my guns go to work. Lots of bounces. He's definitely swinging this way, but I think he started to turn back. So his main guns are going to be occupied elsewhere. And I'm going to have his side. And at this range, I can do some serious damage with these guns. So, this ship, and really all the ships of this new German destroyer line, in my opinion, they're not flashy, but they can be very effective. My 2 cents worth again. If you play these ships like cruisers, you can have some good games. Just choose your targets well. I mean, it's not it's not award-winning. 74,000 damage, 2 kills. But I helped. You know, I helped the team. Did pick up a cap. Just kind of harassed. Enemy ships that knew where I was, knew they had a torpedo threat. If you haven't tried these, and you've got something an urge to try them, I think they're fun. They're just not as high adrenaline as some of the other destroyer lines. This is going to be over in just a sec, so I'll say thanks very much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.